Hello and welcome to your WWE Raw review for July 6, 2015. And this Raw was taking place in Chicago, Illinois, which, anyone who used to live in Chicago, which I have, doesn't take place in Chicago. It takes place in Rosemont, Illinois, at the Allstate Arena, which is nowhere near Chicago. So, Brock Lesnar kicks off the show. Fantastic! Brock Lesnar kicks off the show. Alright. Yes! Brock Lesnar, the Beast, is kicking off the show. Fantastic. Brock Lesnar, as presented by Paul Heyman, is the god of violent retribution. And that is exactly what Brock Lesnar is called, and that's exactly what Brock Lesnar is. Paul Heyman said that Seth Rollins broke the 11th commandment, and I'm not saying exactly word for word what he said, but thou shalt not provoke the Beast, Brock Lesnar. There's Suplex City chants throughout the arena. Fantastic promo work by Paul Heyman. Brock Lesnar looks great. He doesn't look that tired. He must have got some sleep from his match in Tokyo, which took place on Saturday. So, for some reason, the WWE decides after such a good, hot introduction, to show us Kane and his photos in Hawaii. These are Photoshop pictures of Kane in Hawaii next to a volcano and playing a ukulele. My brain hurt a little bit, but moving on to the next segment, we have footage of J&J driving around in their brand new Cadillac, hanging around Wrigley Field, making fun of the Chicago Cubs. And I'm wondering why they had time to do that footage for the Raw, but they couldn't do any street fight footage between Dean Ambrose and Luke Harper when they had their fight at Extreme Rules in Chicago at the Allstate Arena in Rosemont. They just assumed, they just said, hey, they fought outside in the streets of Chicago, but you just have to take our word for it. We're not going to show it to you. Next match we have is Big Show versus Ryback. For some reason, we have this match. Big Show is boring. I don't care for Big Show. Ryback has improved tremendously. I still don't think he's going to be a top guy, but eventually he will have that opportunity. But I don't think as long as John Cena remains in the WWE in any capacity, Ryback has no chance of making it that far. This is for you Ryback fans. I am not a Ryback fan, but he has improved over time. He's won me over a little bit in the fact that he has shown that he doesn't feel as winded as he used to be. So I give him credit for putting forth more energy and more effort in his matches. Miz has a mic during the match because he's at ringside for some reason. He talks during the entire match. The Chicago crowd chants Cleveland sucks to Miz, and Cleveland does suck because the Cleveland Cavaliers with LeBron James, Mr. I'm the best player in the world, you didn't win, so that kind of makes you not the best player. The better team beat you. The better team won the NBA Finals, and that wasn't you, buddy. Miz says, I'm not from Cleveland, I'm from Hollywood. Funny how he wasn't from Hollywood when he was at one of the NBA games with Dolph Ziggler supporting the Cleveland Cavaliers. By the way, I believe they lost that game too. Miz attacks Big Show and Ryback after Big Show drops a elbow from the second rope. Then both Big Show and Ryback proceed to beat him up. Ryback hits Big Show at the end to close the segment, and then the next segment is more Kane pictures of him in Hawaii. Yeah, that's great. And J&J, more footage of them hanging around Chicago. Brie Bella versus Paige is up next. After two distractions from Alicia Fox and Nikki Bella, Brie wins with the X Factor. Alicia Fox and Nikki Bella both beat up Paige at the end of the match. I don't understand why Paige is looking so weak. You know, she is also on Total Divas. If you want to give some credibility to the fact that someone might be able to dethrone Nikki Bella for her title, it would be great. But in the meantime, we're having Nikki Bella being a Super Cena in the female format. She's probably going to beat AJ Lee's title reign. So, that's pretty exciting, I guess, for you Nikki Bella fans. But, make no mistake about it, the Nikki Bella and Brie Bella heel personas are bullies. It goes against the whole entire dynamic of Be a Star. But, moving on. The next match we have is Roman versus Sheamus. And I've seen this match before. I didn't care for it. I don't care for the whole Roman Reigns love fest. The announcers, there's no announcer. There's no heel announcer. Everything is pro Roman Reigns. Just like pro John Cena. There's nobody talking against the character of Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is just phenomenal. That's all he is. He's phenomenal. He's great. Guess what? I don't think he's great. I don't like him. I call him Boring Reigns. He sucks in the ring. He sucks on the mic. He didn't do well at WrestleMania. He got his ass beat at WrestleMania. And anytime he got hurt at WrestleMania, I was there live, the crowd loved it. Nobody was behind Roman Reigns. I am not behind Roman Reigns. After Roman hits Sheamus, who's leaping on top rope with the standard punch, the Superman punch, I call it the standard punch because it's nothing special. He's just jumping in the air going like that. Whatever. Bray's music hits, and a decoy Bray Wyatt comes out down the ring. Roman Reigns comes down the entrance ramp, punches him, and then Roman is on a Titantron, and he says, ha ha ha, anyone but you. He says something, because Bray Wyatt always says something. It doesn't really matter what he says. The point is that Roman loses via countout. Sheamus celebrates, Randy Orton's music plays, Randy Orton comes out, proceeds to beat the crap out of Sheamus. Good to see Randy Orton back. He looks rested. He had a little vacation. He hits the RKO on Sheamus, and this is our possible introduction to their match at Battleground, Sheamus versus Randy Orton. It hasn't been confirmed, but I'm assuming it's going to happen. Backstage segment with Triple H and J&J and Seth Rollins. Seth asks him for some advice. He gives him two parts of advice. He says to avoid Brock Lesnar because Seth is obviously looking worried. Then Triple H says, maybe you should go ahead and be, tough. And you should intentionally provoke the Beast Brock Lesnar. And then he said, yeah, show him, Seth. Go call out Brock. Maybe those weren't the exact words, but I'm just giving a summary of what he said. I didn't need to see Triple H say those things. I think Seth Rollins has evolved already as enough as a heel persona that he doesn't need to have him, Triple H, give him a nod. Seth has already got the championship. He doesn't need your nod. He's already barring your finisher because you can't have him do the curb stomp. We don't need his pat on the back. We don't need your support. Seth Rollins himself, he can survive on his own. He doesn't need Triple H. As far as his chicken shit heel persona, he does need the authority, but he doesn't need Triple H giving him a pat on the back, hugging him, kissing him on the cheek. Nothing. We have Summer Rae and Rusev having their segment up next. Now, I don't really care about this segment because Rusev can't wrestle. He's still coming off of his injury, but his injury was legitimate. I'm assuming that he's been okay for a little bit now because of what happens later on. Dolph Ziggler comes out, starts saying, you lost the best thing you ever had, and Lana. Rusev proceeds to want to leave before Lana and Summer Rae looks like they're going to get into it. Rusev takes off his, attacks Ziggler with the crutch, and takes off his walking boot. He's 100% healed now. He's 100% healed now. He hits him with a super kick, and then Lana gets thrown out the second ring rope to the outside by Summer Rae. Rusev is back. He destroys Ziggler, attacks him with the crutch in his neck. He attacks him like that. Oh my gosh, Ziggler's hurt. When they come back from commercial break, he's being stretchered out. Lana looks obviously worried. Rusev is back. Rusev versus Ziggler, I'm predicting at Battleground. Next match we have is Bo Dallas versus Dean Ambrose. Bo Dallas obviously talks smack to the Chicago crowd. Dean Ambrose wins with dirty deeds. Nothing fancy there. Moving on to the next match, with King Barrett versus R-Truth. I've seen this already. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. Oh my gosh, no. What? Wake me up when it's over. Barrett wins with the bull hammer elbow. Big deal. Seth comes out with J&J with axe handles, and J&J park their Cadillac in front of the stage, walk to the ring. They talk smack to Brock Lesnar. They talk smack and say, you know, Paul Heyman, are you just a beast, or are you Paul Heyman's bitch? Which is not true, because Brock Lesnar can't stand on his own. He doesn't need Paul Heyman. But it's always nice to have him there to talk, to give that presentation that Paul Heyman can and will sell you on how great Brock Lesnar is, period. So Brock Lesnar comes out, and Paul Heyman pulls out this red crate that Michael Cole says is a fireman's crate where they have their fireman supplies. There's fire extinguisher there and fire axes. He takes out 2 fire axes, put them over his shoulders, proceeds to destroy the crap out of the car. He destroys the windshield. He busts his tire, and it's just, wow. It's awesome seeing him destroy that. J&J comes to try to protect the car. Jamie Noble gets his arm broken in the Kimura lock. Joey Nurkic gets thrown into the windshield. The car window, the front car window. It breaks. Brock Lesnar poses on top of the thing at the end of the segment after he tries to chase away Seth. Seth runs away, obviously. Brock looks fantastic. He looks, again, well rested, even though he was in Tokyo on Saturday. Paul Heyman praises Brock, who is on top of the car, to close the segment. Brock looks great. Next segment we have, and for some reason I don't know why they put this segment next, Lucha Dragons versus New Day. And I don't know why this match was there. Lucha Dragons lose. Okay. So we move on to the revelation for the WWE 2K16 cover, which is Stone Cold Steve Austin. Well, so that's awesome. If you're a Stone Cold fan, fantastic. You have a reason to buy it. Here we go. Unfortunately, we have John Cena come out. John Cena chants begin. John Cena sucks chants begin, I should say. They show the Beast in the East recap with Owens losing the championship. And he said, you guys are booing me because of some reason or another. And you're booing me because Kevin Owens lost the belt. And I would like to tell you, John Cena, that if I was there, I wouldn't be booing you. I'd be sitting down doing nothing. When you're in the arena, and I've seen you more than once, and believe me, you're nothing special. To this wrestling fan, you're nothing special. You're just John Cena. That's it. You're nothing special. So for me personally, when you're in the ring, unless other people are chanting John Cena sucks, that's the only reason you'll get a reaction on me when I say John Cena sucks. But other than that, I won't see let's go Cena sucks. I don't waste my energy for that. I have a lot of other things in my life that I like to spend my energy on. You, John Cena, are not one of those things. So, unfortunately, you come out and you talk, you say whatever you want to say. Then Kevin Owens comes out, fantastic, great crowd reaction. Kevin Owens says, you're the worst part of Raw because you come out and you say the same thing, same garbage, period. And the crowd loves that statement because it's true, because you see the exact same thing every week. There's nothing new or special about you, John Cena, no matter what. The only thing different about you is when you wrestle a different person and then you proceed to win. Because guess what? John Cena kicks out at 2. That's it. John Cena kicks out at 2. Cesaro comes out and he says he messes up a little bit in his promo. He says Mr. Never Give Up was about to submit. Something along those lines. He says, if you don't get out of here, Kevin Owens, you're going to have a problem with me. Kevin Owens leaves. I don't know why they're making Kevin Owens look weak. Cesaro and Cena have a pretty good match. The only reason I say pretty good is because their first match last week was better. Do I think that Cesaro will be a top guy eventually? No. Why? Because I don't think WWE Creative has any faith in him. Vince McMahon likes his John Cena. He loves his John Cena. But guess what? John Cena has to retire eventually. He's got to leave eventually. And when that happens, that's going to be a great day. You will see change in WWE once John Cena leaves. because it has to happen. There has to be a point in the evolution of wrestling, in the evolution of a company, when the top guy has to leave. Hulk Hogan left. The company survived. You had two different top guys, Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Triple H doesn't count for a top guy because Triple H never got the kind of reaction that Stone Cold or The Rock got. Triple H was always number 3 or 4, period. He was never better than The Rock, and he was never better than Stone Cold Steve Austin. John Cena, when he leaves, someone else will take his place, and the company will survive. WWE, you need to stop with the John Cena stuff. You put him as U.S. champion, he shouldn't be closing the show. Brock Lesnar should have closed the show. John Cena wins. Cesaro has so many amazing spots in this match. There's too many to describe. I'll just say this, that Cesaro kicked out of one AA, out of one attitude adjustment, which is wonderful. Cesaro puts Cena in a sharpshooter, then switches it to a crossface. They actually called it a crossface. I'm surprised they're using it because of what happened with that other wrestler, who I shall not name, but you all know who he is, who did that horrible thing. Then Cena puts him in the STF. Cesaro powers out of it, turns it into vertical suplex. Just phenomenal balance, great teamwork by both wrestlers. Cena misses the Stone Cold Stunner, springboard Stone Cold Stunner, and for some reason they decided to pan to the car that was destroyed by Brock Lesnar and mentioning it in the main event of, with the U.S. Championship main event. Okay, if you're going to talk about Brock Lesnar in the main event, why don't you just have him in the main event? You could have had this match, which was great. Great because Cesaro worked his ass off, not because of John Cena. John Cena can pull out a different move. Guess what? The other person that has to sell it has to make the move look good. John Cena is garbage. I don't like John Cena. I've never liked John Cena. I will never, ever, ever like John Cena, the wrestler. If we're talking about Mr. John Cena, Make-A-Wish, hey, wonderful. If those kids find inspiration in you, wonderful. If those kids feel great because you are that, symbol, that idea of, never give up. Whatever that really means, fantastic. But John Cena the wrestler, you need to lose sometimes. Because guess what? If John Cena the wrestler is personified as never give up, then it's okay for you to lose. Then why don't you lose the match? Why don't you make it non-title? Have Cesaro get a pinfall victory on you. Who cares? And when you get pinned, why don't you lay on the mat instead of rolling out right away like you did to Kevin Owens when Kevin Owens defeated you? The fans were into Cesaro. They chanted, Cesaro, Cesaro. Cesaro loses after Cena hits him with the attitude adjustment from the second rope. So I guess Cesaro was protected in some degree because he took a modified finisher, making him look, a little weak, but not that weak. Kevin Owens tries to do a post-match beatdown on Mr. John Cena. He tries to do the power bombs. John Cena recovers. He doesn't hit it. He just leaps over Kevin Owens, and John Cena hits the attitude adjustment. Kevin Owens runs away. John Cena, panders to the crowd and just says, I love you, or, you guys are so great, I've had great matches here, or whatever. This Raw would have been fantastic if John Cena didn't close this Raw. Why did John Cena, the U.S. champion, close out this Raw? When Brock Lesnar was there, Brock Lesnar is the attraction, not John Cena. Brock Lesnar is who I would pay to go see at a WWE live event, not John Cena. When John Cena had his match at a WWE live event, as soon as the match was over and I knew John Cena was going to win, I left. I didn't stay to hear what John Cena had to say. I didn't care what John Cena had to say. This was the WWE live event before SummerSlam when Brock Lesnar systematically destroyed John Cena and defeated him for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Suplex City. Suplex City should have closed the show. I give this Raw a 3 out of 5. A 3 out of 5 because Brock Lesnar was there, and it doesn't get a 5 because the other 2 points are John Cena and the lackluster other filler matches before John Cena. It's like they had to water down the crowd, make him forget that they just saw Brock Lesnar destroy a vehicle and systematically take out J&J. you should have had Brock Lesnar close the show, because Brock Lesnar is the attraction. Brock Lesnar is the beast. Brock Lesnar is who I want to see, and a lot of real wrestling fans want to see it too. There's the two parts to a wrestling fan. The wrestling fan right now that likes sports entertainment, and the wrestling fan that likes professional wrestling. I like professional wrestling. I do not care that much about sports entertainment. I understand this is my option to watch. If I'm watching Brock Lesnar, I have to watch this because this is sports entertainment. But if you're asking me whether I care about Brock Lesnar cutting a promo, no. I want to see Brock Lesnar kick some ass. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like, comment, subscribe, and thanks so much for being a WWE fan, being a wrestling fan. Even if you aren't a hardcore wrestling fan, I just thank you so much, because it's so nice to talk to every one of you when I get a chance to on Twitter. Follow me, Infinite Puppy Bear, on Twitter. And thanks so much. Have a good one, everybody. Happy Tuesday.